So this is our upstairs loft area where Zeb does his YouTube editing. We design decoupage paper here. The kids do their homework, and it's also a dumping ground of art supplies and various other returns.
It didn't always used to look like a catch-all, but it's been a busy fall and winter season for us, and it is definitely in serious need of some organization.
I'm laughing because I'm like, I can't believe I'm showing the world this, but every time I walked up the stairs, it just made me angry, but I couldn't justify the time to clean it because I was like, well, we really need to change the space. So we knew we needed a desk with 2 work areas so the kids could use their computer while Zeb used his, and space for me to sit next to Zeb because oftentimes we're doing voiceover or we're working on decoupage paper and there needs to be room for 2 people. And this desk, as cool as it was, an antique desk from Lehigh High School, just wasn't working for us anymore. First things first, Zeb had some cleaning to do.
Yeah, so I just really started making piles of what was old construction supplies or random screws that were in my pocket, and just clean up in general. I pulled out an entire bag of trash.
And yes, I am Zeb's helper when it comes to moving stuff up and down the stairs. I feel like some kid built a drawer fort here.
Maybe a drawer fort. So we were having a struggle. I think we've got it figured out. This is going to be the new storage, quite a bit of room in there, 3 big drawers, and then I'm keeping my little filing cabinet here of drawers. But we might do a big butcher block across the top, and we can't decide if we want to push this all the way over to the corner, chop the feet off, or what.
So I think it needs to be in the middle. I want to chop the feet off and remove that top so it's a little bit lower.
Okay.
But I need to see, when you do that, if it will be low enough for a standard chair. If it's still not low enough, then maybe we should keep it this way to have bar height and just take just the top off and not cut the feet off.
So the feet are only going to be, do you want to take this front detail off too and put this drawer all the way down on the ground?
Just this part from here to there.
Okay, so that's 2.5 inches. Then you're going to get another 3/4 inches, so 3.5. Can't do math.
Let's just say 3.25 inches shorter.
Yeah, 3.25 inches.
So measure it. Plus the countertop is.
So it's basically going to be 31.5. That would work because standard table height is 30 inches, so it's only going to be 1.5 inches above that.
Plus the countertop.
Oh yeah. So that's probably another 1.5 inches easy. So 31.5. So that puts. So we'll be able to go underneath the trim here just fine with the countertop once we add it.
Okay.
But it's still going to be on the high side. But I think most office chairs
go
have
up and down
4 to 5 inches of movement in them.
Okay, well, we can always modify something for the kids too. So let's do that. Let's cut the feet off just to shorten this. Take the top off since it's all wonky anyways.
Okay.
And then we'll get a countertop, some sort of butcher block.
This had the drawers on the top. And look at it now. There wasn't anything in underneath those drawers. So
it's a good reuse of a broken dresser. So I will go run some errands, and when I come back, this will be ready to paint, right?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, time to cut off the feet. I just measured to the top of this architectural detail, zipped them all off. They ended up being just perfect. I don't know how that worked out. That never works like that for me. And then pulled the rest of this top off. It had some drawers on it originally above that, and they didn't work out.
So I wanted to have kind of like paint blue, but I wanted it to be a little bit more gray, and I decided to throw in some vintage mint. So I mixed paint blue, vintage mint, half and half, and then I added in some gray skies, and I got kind of a grayish blue-green. It looks white here, but this paint dries darker. Once I got 2 coats on, it really looked good. The original antique dresser was mahogany, but they had done some sort of brown gel stain over it, and so the original finish wasn't even exposed anymore. And I just love how well made this is. We needed something sturdy that the kids could get in and out of, get their art supplies out of, and it wasn't going to break. The nice thing is that once it's painted, it's sealed. It has a built-in sealer. To get the chippy look I wanted, I had to use an orbital sander because sometimes when I hand sand it, it looks streaky, but 220 sandpaper on an orbital sander gives me the perfect distressed aged finish. And you don't have to do this, but I just love things that tell a story, and I didn't want it to look brand new.
So we've got these mercantile pools. We sell these at jamirayvintage.com. They're perfect. I'm just using the original holes for the pools that were on there to line up where the handles go and screwing them on. I didn't measure, I eyeballed it, and it worked out great.
We love cast iron pools, and we wanted this to look continuous for the design we have in the entire house, and all of our pools all across the house are cast iron.
This is the cheap version of a butcher block. It's veneer. We got it at IKEA. It was half the price. It is a little short, but I made some concessions and we ended up putting some legs on the side of this to support it, and it turned out looking great. I really wanted it to go all the way across, but it was over $400 for butcher block that was 10 feet long.
I really wanted it to look like a table, and I was fine having space on each side. Sometimes I feel like if you take up the entire space, it makes things look crowded. I wanted it to look like furniture, so I was kind of glad that it was a less expensive option because I got the look that I wanted. It actually took us 3 days after we got started to figure out what kind of top we wanted.
To get that built-in look that Jami was wanting, I had to put a skirt on the side of this. So I just put a little backer here and then glued this front skirt on. And then now I have something I can nail the backer to without having to put a bunch of screws through the top of this MDF/veneer butcher block. These are the legs. These are actually banister rails out of the church that we did a renovation on that is now our shop. And they're going to get repurposed here. We love using salvage if we can.
The legs just get the paint job to match the rest of the piece and a little bit of distress, and it's going to look like this was all one piece built for our office area.
There was a great debate about what chairs would work because my old antique chair wasn't really working. We went all over town, finally found these. They were normally almost $300. We got them for $115 a chair. And while we don't love the chrome, it's growing on us. It's a nice clean look. We wanted black legs on our chair, but beggars can't be choosers.
They're fine. Office chairs are what they are, and trying to fit them into our design is a struggle. I went ahead and repainted the baseboards because they just had a quick coat.
Should have done that before we did
I
the
know.
desk.
And then we just added some curtains. I just used a blanket that I bought at IKEA for $6.99. I'm not even going to give you the how-to of how I did them because I totally screwed them up. I wanted the fringe on the inside and I put the casing in wrong. They're not perfect, but the color actually matches well. So if I ever get back to IKEA, I'll just buy another blanket and do it the right way. It was a good idea in theory.
Yeah, and it's going to keep whoever's sitting at that side of the desk from being blinded if the sun's coming up in the morning and shining through that window.
Yeah, it was a $7 mistake, so no harm there.
So this was actually only about 10 hours worth of time to do all this, even though it took us 3-4 days to actually pull it together. And I'm so happy to have my desk back because I do a ton of work here, and I've been using the laptop, which is fine, but I'm a lot more efficient on my desktop.
I just love it because it's a clean, neat space. It still needs some decorating, so I'm thinking next week we'll come back, add some shelving, maybe some pictures, but it's a great workspace and makes me so happy every time I walk up the stairs. Thanks for following along as we take an embarrassingly dirty space and turn it into something functional. We loved the desk that we had before, but it just wasn't working for us.
Yeah, it was fun to have that antique desk from Lehigh High School in here, and it worked all right. It was good enough when we first moved in. It got us so that we could edit and do decoupage paper and things on the computer. But after living with it a couple years, it was just like a catch-all corner up here, and you saw what it looked like. And now, we had a chance to sit down and be like, okay, this is what we really want. This is what we want the space to be. This is going to give us a lot of room in here and be functional for the kids and for us.
Coming into 2023, you can expect more videos like this from us showing you how to use reclaimed pieces, paint, upcycle, and make a space that's really functional and unique. If you have any questions, comment below. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
To purchase the paint and products you see used here today, visit jamirayvintage.com.